No better way to start the tournament than a rematch of the Season 4 Grand Finals. SK taking on Cloud9. That was really the match that began to mark a little bit of the fall of SK. That was when we really saw that FNX situation kind of come to a head, and soon after he departs the team. And that's where we saw SK working to get back to this level ever since then. But this is a different version of SK that Cloud9 is going to be facing.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say no better way to start than a rooftop.
Ooh, that would have been good.
Yeah.
That rooftop is quite nice.
Yeah, everyone loves a rooftop.
Air conditioning units, the Dallas background.
It's a love. I've never been.
You've never been to Dallas?
No,
You're
Texas.
in for a treat.
I can't wait to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for SK, they've had that rebuilding phase. Phelps, when he first joined the team, he was just hyper-aggressive along with Fur. It was too much aggression. coldzera and Fallen, Taco, they all spoke candidly to me about the fact that, you know, they needed to reel that in. They needed to play the branded Counter-Strike that Fallen had kind of built and shown the world to be very successful, especially in this meta. Now they've gone back to that. We've seen the resurgence of Fallen. He's looking amazing at this point in time. His AWP is definitely back on form. I always like to talk about Taco and his kind of mantra of the way he addresses the game. You know, he's very unselfish. He knows what needs to be done. Even if he's at the bottom of the scoreboard, he's still always contributing in some way, and that's fantastic to see from a player.
Now, Cloud9 is going to be, well, I mean, this is now... I mean, SK as this team, Fallen has gotten them back. He spoke actually a lot about some of the changes he had to make when Phelps first came into this roster. I mean, Vendetta, from watching them all season, do you see them as, were they really as dominant as they looked from across the pond?
No, not really. They had a lot of shaky gameplay to what they were doing. They were racking up W's, but they weren't necessarily doing it in a comfortable manner to the point where you felt like, okay, yeah, this is the SK that's just going to dominate the world once more. Yeah. For the longest time, you were kind of wondering whether or not, you know, Fallen did the right choice of actually sacrificing himself so much to actually allow Phelps to have an easy transition from the Immortals side, because Phelps was not necessarily dipping in form or performance ever since it came back in, but SK were doing less and less, or having less and less success, even with him playing well, and that was obviously because Fallen had to take such a big step back. So I think, you know, they kind of, you talked about it, they over the course of the season they kind of found their rhythm. Fallen started to take more of a responsibility to how he was playing. They saw them, you know, when they started playing Inferno initially, he wasn't playing that B-bomb side. It was Phelps and coldzera. Then they swapped it over again, and you know they've kind of like figured out that, you know, you need Fallen to actually be successful. You need to follow that system that he's put in place, follow that, you know, mindset of how to play Counter-Strike if you're going to be successful. And even, you know, with Fallen taking more of a responsibility, it hasn't really done too much to Phelps' performance. Yeah,
they're starting to look very, very good. And the other team, I got a little bit excited to get into them a little bit early. Cloud9 going to be their opponents coming up. And this team, the driving force of this team, the two players, Stewie and Automatic, is this team going to be dangerous here against SK? We've seen them have bouts with them in the past. Obviously, Vanetta saying SK not as dominant as perhaps they looked. Is there a window of opportunity here for Cloud9?
Cloud9 always seems to do relatively well against SK, right? Especially like you look at their most recent results, it's pretty back and forth. SK have still come out on top in a lot of the matches, but Cloud9 beat them in there was a Subaru Invitational, which was online. They won that one. And then at the same time, with this Cloud9 roster, if you let them be comfortable and you let them pick a map and have the game plan that they want, and you don't really attack them early on, they can run away with the match. And the thing which I think SK needs to stay away from if they want to beat Cloud9 comfortably here would be stay away from Train. You know, that's a map where Cloud9, they've upset SK on a few times.
Well, we can see we have actually the map vetoes are going to be brought up right about now for this best of one. Overpass, Nuke, Cash vetoed, so Inferno, Mirage, and Train. So they do avoid that little bit of a pitfall. Cbble is going to be the map we're going to see him on.
I think it's weird that Mirage was left so late in the veto, because like I know that's fallen off for SK in recent times. I think the only map that SK don't really like to play, obviously, is Nuke. That's the first one they got rid of. Overpass for Cloud9 makes sense. I think Mirage, I didn't think would be as late. I thought the last three maps we'd see would be Inferno, Train, and Cbble, but that's relatively...
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that the Cloud9 wanted to take this, or leave Cbble open. I think if SK are given the choice between playing Train or Cbble versus Cloud9, they're always going to go with Cbble. I think it might have been a bit different if they ban out Cbble, let Inferno and Train be the two last remaining maps, and I think Cloud9 should still be within a good shot of actually, you know, doing some damage to SK on both those maps. So I was kind of surprised to see the fact that Cloud9 decided to move Inferno that early. But, you know, again, it was always going to be between three maps, and you know, we ended up on the third one of them, which is Cbble. But I do think that's probably the least favorable map for Cloud9 going into this matchup.
I've felt the wrath of SK on this map before. 16-0, I believe it was.
That's not bad.
They could just run over you. The way that these guys approach the game, you know, they just love that B-bomb site.
Yeah.
As
if they have success there as well, it opens up the other side of the map, too. This could be very dangerous. Either way, tell us who you think is going to win. You can do it in YouTube chat. Just say SK or Cloud9. Get your vote counted. Be heard in the YouTube chat. two guys that we're going to hear from now. You're going to love them. It's Sadakis and it's Henry G. They're going to be bringing you the action. We're going to have a little bit of a chat with the guys. How are we doing, boys?
It's good. I don't know if you're going to love us, Henry. Jason, it's a love-hate relationship, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How you guys doing over there?
Mixing up your partners? Yeah, we're doing good.
You're doing a great job as a host, Jason, I have to say. Like your work. Big fan. Oh, I think we're live. Get out of here.
That's how good he was doing. Just get rid of him before he could finish that conversation.
Here we go.
Let's get to the game. So, I think we're all the way into it. They knifed first side. SK, I presume, won that and wanted to start CT. Or would you not on this map still, Henry?
It's up for debate. I think it's what you feel more comfortable as a team as a whole. It's going to be Cloud9, though. 4 sets of armor map, and now one smoke very fast towards A. It seems all 5 players committing to this side of the map. Smoke towards connector momentarily, and they're going to be striking. But SK, they do seem to be aware.
They've got one player, Fur, still well out toward long A. They've bypassed him to go through danger. He'll be able to retake from long when they arrive on the site, but he might be alone in his retake. Nothing. Takes down Fallen and Cold. It's Fur that does get one back. That opens up Phelps the opportunity to get in through the hut. He's got a clear ramp, and then they'll be able to wrap around the APC and find nothing at Romeo. Stewie already down. Fur patient, catches off Skadoodle, excuse me, as nothing did go to Phelps immediately after. So they get both those players. It's just going to be Shroud on top of the site. Bomb planted. Fur, solid retake.
Very good retake there from SK Gaming. As we said, Cloud9 there, a little bit apprehensive to go with that full A commitment at the start of the round. They did a slight default, then went for the full commitment. 5 players there. Normally when you do that kind of strategy, though, you've got like 1 player towards drop down. He's holding the rotations off, right? He goes in as soon as your teammates have shown commitment towards the A site. He drops down. He tries to hold up CTs, maybe find a kill or 2. That's what I think was missing there from Cloud9. All 5 players at that side of the map meant SK Gaming, clean retake coming through the balcony area and the connector, managing to find the kills, and this is how fragging Cloud9 generally. So it's going to be SK Gaming taking the 1-0 here. As usual for SK, it's pretty par for the course of them, it seems, these days. No rifles purchased in the second round. Got for 5 SMGs, primarily UMPs, and 1 MP9 for Fur. We have got the force buy from Cloud9 though. That's kind of interesting at the same time, because obviously they got the bomb down their map, and normally you're buying the AKs in the third round. They've gone for this force buy in the second. So Tech9's PD50s normally suggests to be a full execution. Smoke's getting on the site. Objective, get the bomb down and then see what you can do. That looks like a misthrown smoke, but it's okay.
Should cover. Wait to Bloom though, and Cold already has 1. Nothing gets it back. So UMP down. I think it's inside of the window where he died as well, so it's totally grabbable. Nothing's not gone for it though. It's Stewie that gets Phelps greeting him on the way through as he swings back at the alley. Good control at both angles. A single smoke helps him do so, and nothing has not found the gun. There it is. As soon as he grabs it, I'm surprised Fallen didn't respond though, because he would have seen that gun disappear, and he gets the kill. He could get a second straight bomb plant out of this, because all 3 remaining players have to rotate over from B.
Yeah, very unlikely he wins around considering his HP. With the bomb down, that's actually pretty good news. There'll be eco next round, sure, but he's got the back into in terms of the economic game. He'll be going down momentarily. He might get 1 more kill out of his luck. It's a decent flashbang, but Fur finds him, and the bomb will be defused. So good job there by Nothing. Good awareness to find that kill in the connector area. Like he said, it was strange that Fallen didn't take that frag down. The fact he had the pre-fire there as well, UMP can be a bit of a tricky weapon to go up against. So Nothing finds 2 kills in that round. That was the execution from Cloud9, but not as kind of detailed as I would like it to. Seeing that as more of a gut feeling. They were just going on a set time. 1 swing on drop down. They tried to flash over. Didn't really have the full wall of smokes going into that with the B site. So pretty unsuccessful towards that side of the map, but Nothing coming up with the bomb plant. Like I said, ego next round, but still have a full buy. Or they could force it if they really wanted to, because he got 2 players with 4K. I would say not, because they only got 2 kills in the previous. If they got 4, then sure, let's give it a go. But here's the replay of them getting shut down by the UMP.
Yeah, Phelps especially. First player trips up on the wall and then swing out. Good awareness. The interesting thing about that is how long they waited on the defuse. Considering they had the UMPs, they were looking for the Tech9s and the utilities, so they're looking for every penny they can save.
Oh, they have force buy him out. Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say, like, if they got 3 or 4 kills, sure, let's consider it. But this could be a bit of a problem now. They're up against 3 UMPs, but Fallen's got the AWP out, and Fur a bit aggressive there towards long A, trying to find that first pick. Doesn't spot anything just yet. They're not aware the force buys come in, so they might be a bit overzealous with their faces like that and have to give something away. And there's the first shot. That was from Shroud, though. He's only got the Deagle, so haven't given away. They've got the AKs just yet.
And just to be clear, on kills, Nothing's the only one with any. On Cloud9, he's got all 4. Which they have found thus far.
Just to note as well, it's automatic calling for this team, which was an adjustment, right? So this is obviously kind of noted to his kind of play style and how he wants to approach that economic situation. They are certainly the underdogs, even though in this previous matchup in the Pro League finals they won. I'd say SK in current form, surely they're going to be on favourites on paper. Yeah.
What did that bounce off of? A light sticking out? Molotov bounced off something that was shooting it from the wall. I didn't quite catch it. Either way, Fallen going to go slightly aggressive out toward long. Nothing's getting closer to that position. He does have an AK-47. So Fallen's got to be timid, but still wants the peek. Yeah, another step further, and his shoulder shows. Automatic goes first. Fallen quick enough to take the shot, will fall back into the site as Fur holds off lower mid, smokes down, sees them inside of it, finds one, snaps over, and down goes all three. Fur holding the ground, will leave nothing, the last alive yet again. Again, the only one with a kill thus far for Cloud9, and he's the only one that may get one in this round as well. Look at that.
Yeah, nothing gets one more kill, so he's the only player that gets a frag once again. But a lot of running through smokes now. There's 2 rounds in a row now that is pushing through smokes. They have platform, then in middle as well. They still had 25 seconds on the clock there. They could have waited 5 more seconds and then actually had a chance. Like you can see right here, it is starting to dissipate, but you can see clearly through the smoke at that point. It's going to be fun. He's not even being pressured at that point. Those are very easy frags. They're not even coming out at the same time. One by one by one. That's not how you should be approaching Counter-Strike, especially in a best-of-1 format against one of the world's best teams right now. They're looking disjointed right now. They don't look comfortable, Cloud9. And those force buy situations haven't really given them too much to work with. They got the bomb down short, but they haven't really been finding any frags.
Digging this camera. Little glitch in the script, maybe.
There we go.
Oh, it's a little better.
So
I think we've... It says tactical pause, but I'm seeing only 2 players in spawn for SK, so I'm assuming it's technical.
Maybe they wanted to go to deathmatch quickly while the tactical pause was on.
Yeah.
Get the aims warmed up, you know.
The issue... yeah, the issue here is the guns have been dropped after, obviously, they held everything over. Probably have to be a full medic to reset the start of the round, I would assume, for money reasons,
yeah.
financial reasons, I guess is an easier way to say it.
That would make sense. Wow, SK looking very comfortable so far. They've given away, what, 3 kills? Well, I guess in the pistol winning. Probably about
5 kills total. Nothing has 5. No one else has any.
Wow, there you go. So it's SK with lots of money. This is, I guess you can probably call this a bonus round. They've probably got those 3 UMPs still from the previous. Got the full AWP, and I think it's Phelps who's got the M4A4. But right now, Cloud9 after the force by the previous, so 4th stage, 2,900 are coming to this round. So has to be an eco, really, and this is a T-sided map. It's not the start you want, really. Sure, the 3-0 is fine, but going into the first gun round, what it should be, with just probably Tech 9s and stuff, they'll be on full maximum loss spenders next round, so they can get another partial buy going. They need to calm down, though. Let's slow things down. Let's get the defaults, start work some picks. They seem to be very tunnel vision. They've got an objective at the start of the round, and they're saying, right, let's do this. And sure, that can work the time when you're, like Cloud9, we saw in Brazil, right, last time. When all 5 players are playing the best CS of their career, that's going to work for you, because you'll be out-dueling everyone and looking very good as a whole. Right now, like I said, they're disjointed, and actually not very promising in terms of fracking potential right now. So I think they need to go back to basics, do the defaults, the executions, and maybe just try and fill out the map a little bit more before fully committing. So just running through smoke right now with, like I said, tunnel vision. But for now, there's
issues as well where I guess essentially we level out on round 5, but all the force buys in, they're about to be on a save. You could argue that if things go as standard for a CT side, they're on T side, you'd be at 3-0 save and then into 5th round, but that's where they're going to end up. Don't think they need a bomb plant to do it because of the money bonus. I didn't see quite where their money landed.
No, so they'll be at 2,900 this round.
Okay, so okay, there you go.
So they probably bought PT50s, that's why it's gone down a little bit. And the idea will be just try and get the bomb down once again. They probably can afford a bit more investment in this. Like you said, they have maximum loss bonus, which is 3,400 on top of this next round. So I think they can probably
they won't have 3,400 yet, so they'll be at 29 at the end of this round.
Yeah, exactly. So they could, yeah, you're right. So they can, they'll still be a decent amount. So they can probably get PT50s, maybe some smokes and stuff like that. This is why I need my laptop with crash on us before the game starts.
Okay, yeah, you're 1 round ahead in your math.
Yeah.
They've only lost 3 thus far.
But yeah, this should just be a partial buy from Cloud9. We'll see what they can bring to the table here. Maybe just try and get a couple of guns down. Maybe group up towards long A and try and get some trade frags going. That's normally quite a decent area to go towards. So you can find isolated CTs there, maybe towards danger or long A itself. But they've got to knock off that aggression of Fur, who is going very quickly at the start of the round trying to find that first pick. I assume you're all right. This should be a technical issue at this point. Then we saw SK guys reconnecting. This should be a match medic moment. Just kind of get all the money sorted. But Matt, this is the first game of the final. It's been a long stretch for us, hasn't it? 10 weeks of gameplay in Cologne. Same in North America as well.
Yeah.
All leads here.
Yep.
Who are your favorites of Group A?
I think SK.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be SK.
You know what? I'm kind of fancying Fnatic at this point.
You know, I was talking to Chad this morning at breakfast, and he thinks the same thing. He thinks it's about time that they show up and have that kind of form. I think G2 is another favorite overall. But yeah, in terms of Group A,
it would just
for me, just based on IEM Sydney as well.
It would just be nice to see Fnatic turn up and just like dominate a tournament again. It's been so long, right? Like
it's weird because at the time, if you'd said that during their run, like, oh, I want to see them dominate, I'd be like, no, stop. Yeah. But you're right, it has been a while. It's been a long while. It's been IEM Katowice last year was the last tournament that they won. So I can get behind it.
Swedish scene does a bit of turmoil right now. as a whole.
Yeah.
Obviously,
yeah,
NIP notably not.
We consider that to be the best CS nation for so long. Denmark easily takes the claim right now in terms of depth. Not one particular team, obviously. Then you could argue Brazil's in there too, but in terms of depth, not that they don't have teams coming up. Mortals and now Luminosity. Poll was reasonably close in this.
I missed it. What was it?
I didn't see the exact percentages, but I saw it split around the middle. I think it was,
yeah.
I think it was even closer than that. I think it was like 53-47 if I saw it, but I didn't quite catch it.
I would say it's heavily favored towards SK. Just like obviously in Pro League finals, you're talking about the last big matchup, it would be this event, but current form dictates at SK. Now they've adjusted the roles and fallen back, quote unquote. I think that they're going to be dominating this one. As you can see, nothing, the only player with frags on the T side so far. And in terms of the buy, nothing purchased as of yet. So I'm sure we'll see PT50s, maybe some smokes and stuff to try and get the bomb down. But great chance for SK to farm a bit more cash here. So Goldzera rebuys the grenades. So he's still got the UMP. He must have, he's died 3 times. That's why he's got significantly less money than his teammates. So nothing has taken him down 3 times.
Yeah, there you go. Good point. Poor Cold. Slow start for him, but I don't think he'll matter that much, or he won't mind much considering it's 3-0.
Sure.
And yeah, you said it 5 and 3 for nothing. The rest are all 0 and 3.
Well, they've had a chance to work out what the approach will be going into this round. It's number 4, like we said. No purchases as of yet, and Cloud9 probably using this time to calm down. It's the first game of the tournament. It's a best of 1 group stage format. So we'll probably have, what, 8 games here on the stream today. We've got B-stream going on as well. So if you're looking for your favorite teams, check that out. Oh, a little AK for Phelps as well. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it was on, I think it was on the ground.
Well, there we go. So here we go, round number 4. So like we said, PT50s, a Deagle for nothing. Obviously, there's a bit more cash than the other guys, and automatic with the Tech9. Here's the in-game lead of this team, the bomb at the back of Skadoodle. And this should be a very comfortable round for SK. I'll be surprised they give away more than 1 kill here.
Yeah, no smokes to even go for a fast play or a plant on the B side with the wall.
So these sort of rounds, you're just hoping the CTs maybe get a little bit audacious and try and push certain angles and try and get multiple kills with the UMPs they've still got. They're not really that worried about losing the UMP. They know it's going to be a gun round next. They'd rather have the M4, so they might as well try and farm some cash to be fair to open things up. Like I said, he got the M4A4, so takes on automatic with the Tech9. Damage being inflicted towards Shroud as well, but like I said, I'll be surprised if Cloud9 even get 1 kill here. They go back towards A, which at this point is the best place to go. You're up against Fallen. He's got the AWP on that side of the map. You can only shoot 1 bullet at a time, right? So if you can overwhelm him and try and get a refrag, and this is looking promising. He does hit 1, but has to fall back.
Doesn't take nothing all the way down.
Hello.
And a good shot from nothing. 6th kill for him. Stewie finally gets 1 on the board. This does turn into an interesting round because they picked up the AWP on Stewie and the bomb planted. It's now a 3 versus 3. All due to the fact that they were late rotating over to help Fallen. Good flash through. Another kill for Taco. Down goes Shroud. And Skadoodle falling to the same man.
Yeah, like we said, Fallen there by himself. If he gets overwhelmed, misses 1 shot. He actually hit it, but didn't get the damage in like he said. So nothing managed to survive. He has the Deagle, blows his head off. It looks like he might be having a good game so far. They haven't got a round, but he's suddenly posting frags. And now they have a decent full buy going into number 5 here. 4-0 for SK Gaming. But now, like I said, SK not that worried about losing those frags right now. They get to actually fully upgrade 2 rifles across the board. Double AWP set up as well. It's Taco. Interesting enough, it was known as the double team format for so long. Goldzera and Fallen. That was such a deadly duo. Now, Taco, especially on this map as well, he plays on the upper platform. Quite aggressive. Let's go for the frags. And he actually seems pretty decent at it as well. I'm actually quite impressed by his adjustment. So let's see how this works out for them.
Fallen's got the very tight angle. Ooh. Double Molotovs down. That's quite good. Was the second one? Yeah, it was bounced through drop off the pillar and landed behind him. That's pretty cool. It's quite a smart play to clear the corner, and then they get deep utility off the back of it. They could push the entire lane. So very good defensive utility used from SK. It's used early, but it gives them decent map control. And at the very least, it lets Taco sit here more aggressively in toward the angle. Oh. How quick was that?
This is what we're talking about with Fallen. This is the resurgence. This is the player he used to be, especially on this map as well. Unfortunately, though, nothing takes him down, adds to his frag total. That was a very fast flick there from Fallen. It's a 4-4. Technically does favor the T side as well, with a minute to play over as well. And we'll see whether they can actually capitalize here and post their first round. Nothing with long A control. He's by himself, so he could be the snake in the grass at this point, trying to force rotations towards this side of the map or go for the backstabs as well. Currently holding up in danger.
Watching Nothing's language and his movement, he's on it. He's focused. He's checking everything. He's hitting shots. Very fast response onto Fallen. Skadoodle's gotten Taco down as well, which gives Cloud9 not only their first lead in a round, nothing getting coldzera. It's a significant lead. They've finally got a 2-man advantage. It's brought back to just 1 as Phelps finds automatic inside of drop. But nothing already lurking in through connector could easily cut off Phelps, who's waiting for a flank to come in from Fur, who snuck out from long. Good find from Phelps. Knows that nothing was last spotted over toward A, but he's not sure which way to look first. Reads it right down, goes Skadoodle, spots nothing in the connector. Bomb is down inside of the site, 8 seconds, and nothing on 11 HP, has to run away.
Such a disappointing round there. Phelps actually just shutting it down by himself in that B site. It was Cloud9 have a huge advantage there, 4-on-2. They go very slowly. Instead of being assertive and say, okay, there can only be one player towards that B site. We know there's going to be someone towards the A. Let's just stick together, get in nice and quickly. They went very slowly, dropped the smoke, and actually said, okay, oh, look how poor the smoke as well. That kind of gap as well. That's just not good enough, unfortunately. Now, if you're going to just capitalize, I think there's one player there, let's go together. Once again, it's 1 by 1, and actually dropping that smoke gave him cover. That's the crazy thing about it. If that smoke's not down, he can't actually take those kind of faces. He can't have that kind of tight angle he had. They're overthinking these situations. Maybe just get in together, get the orb set up, and let's try and get some crossfires going on. And it's going to be another aggressive push by Phelps. Doesn't get the damage in, but spots they have bought into this round. Shroud and nothing with AKs, and we've got Tech9s for Stewie, Skadoodle, and Automatic. You have to post around, or really any frags apart from nothing.
Phelps has actually done well to sit. Oh, the second flash nearly caught him, though. He will go down. Nothing, and Stewie chiming in, but he did well to sit behind that smoke and actually let them walk through. It would have been interesting to see what else he could have found. Took what he could get. Bomb down. Skadoodle shoulder peeking, trying to get out toward it. It's going to nade toward KFC and hope that pushes Taco back far enough to get the bomb. It has. And he'll get back down long and try and keep himself in contention. But they've only got the 1 M4 to work with. It's Stewie that has it. Ooh, he may not have it for very long if he keeps that up.
Yeah, well, he gets the incendiary towards Chicken Coop. It's not going to do too much apart from give Taco a new position, which he'll lose track of. So for now, 45 seconds remaining. The bomb's in B horse. You can see Automatic, we're following him right now. He looks like he's going to try and get in towards long A, maybe force a rotation outside of the map. He's only got the Tech9 as well, so interesting to see what he can actually do here. It looks like both his teammates will be, in fact, changing towards that area. They're up against a double orb setup, though, up Fallen and Taco. Fallen is up towards the top of the A site, and coldzera is coming to back him up. So a difficult route now for the T side. No nades map. Just have to walk in and hope they hit the headshots here.
Fallen's heard the shot come in from the bottom of the mid-ramp. He's done an interesting positional move here. By dropping off that wall, he's really limited his angle. Unfortunately for Cloud9, though, they do still contend the fact that Cold is covering off across. Fires Skadoodle. 2 quick kills. Doesn't manage to get a gun off this because he goes for the bomb plant before Taco can arrive. So it'll be Tech9 up against the M4. If Taco elects to wrap around to the front side of the site, he can drop down and pick up a weapon. He's going to stick with the Tech9. Good damage. I think this could be it for Cloud9. Finally around. Skadoodle elects to go on the AWP, already getting damage, though. He sticks with it, goes back and finds him. Smart play from Skadoodle. 1v3.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. 1v3 with the Tech9 finds the quick double kill there. There's like 10 seconds remaining as well. Gets the bomb down and a nice early dink on towards Taco as well. So that double orb setup, that's where it can be a problem. He did upgrade to the M4, but you could see how it fell apart very quickly for them as soon as they got close range of the T. So great work by Skadoodle to find the first round for Cloud9. A player that's been absent, I would say, in terms of his current form. Like, he was renowned as one of the best orbers in NA for so long. And I think he's suddenly dropped off in form right now. I think there's a lot of questions around this lineup and whether they'll be sticking together. But here we go. A set piece from the beginning. We've got the NIP smoke set up. And Taco, talking about smokes, he gets Shroud through one. And it's going to be a 5-on-4 just like that. That's going to subside any sort of set execution they had in mind for now, at least.
Nothing will use the smoke to try and work his way into the site. Catch them off. Does actually get Phelps down. Again, looking sharp. Flash in. Looks for more. Taco holding the angle. He's getting better on this second AWP roll, I have to say.
Yeah.
As Fallen finds Stewie.
Yeah, he's a nice like hybrid playstyle. Like, he knows when to go for the aggressive peaks, and then as soon as he gets them, he doesn't overcommit. He's falling back, holding a different line. That's what he should be doing, and he's hitting the shots at the same time as well. So it's looking great. 4-on-2. Still a chance for Cloud9 here to do something here in round number 7. The problem is this will be a full reset round, so difficult one for them to give away. Still have Skadoodle on the AWP after winning that amazing round with the Tech9. Automatic doing some good work now with the AK-47. Takes down Taco. Opens at the B side at least. Still a 3 versus 1, but the Molotov buys him some space. So he'll actually be able to push a little bit closer to connector.
Ooh, Skadoodle, wrong timing.
He's got a good position, though. This could actually work out quite nicely for them.
Problem is he's the one that has... That's kind of interesting. It would have done the same amount of damage, I think, either way. Kind of interesting the way it bounced down. Cold goes on 51, but he had to plant the bomb, so he couldn't hold the same angle. Now he's going to watch the flank instead. It means they can walk in, from drop, but therefore Automatic has positioned himself accordingly to make sure that they can't get through the door or drop. It means they can get a decent way in first, but Fallen finding Skadoodle means that Long is open and Automatic is in a very tough position to find all three. Gets cold early. Fallen doesn't need to face this because his teammate's walking in. Molotov to the corner. Knows that he's in the site. No! Automatic, what a shot, but Fallen is too quick to get out of drop. And does he have time? He doesn't have a kit. He didn't have a kit, so Cloud9's actually going to pick it up. I thought he did. He was trying to find one fast enough, and he couldn't do so. So that's a really good job, actually. It turns out a bit of luck, but it still counts.
So that's 2 big clutches now from Cloud9, narrowly avoiding death each time. He came to the Tech 9s before, and then Automatic there with quite the astounding clutch. It didn't seem like he could pull it off, but managing to get that opening kill, that was the key. And it's decent position as well. It was an incendiary that landed at his feet at this point. You think, okay, he's done for this point. I'm not sure how the CT player there, Fur, how does he not take him down? He had him in the incendiary and not looking him in as well. So it's going to be 2 rounds in a row for Cloud9. It's starting to get into this best of 1 now. 5-2. And it's going to be a force buy from the Brazilian side. We have Fallen's Orb from the previous round still up, and it's going to be UMPs and CZs around. A very difficult round now, and it's a chance for Cloud9 to capitalize and break the money of SK. They're not looking too pretty themselves, so you see it's come down to 2 1v1s in a row. So they've got Galils, AKs, they do have the smokes to work with here. So whoever loses this round is going to be eco, essentially. So a lot of pressure on either side.
Phelps. Oh, blinded. They all are.
They
all are. Shroud. Oh, no. Oh, but the CZ misses. He whiffs Phelps. It was a chance. An easy chance, you would have thought, but he loses it. This could give Cloud9 3 in a row because they're inside planning in the site. Tonka goes down as he tries to push through smoke to deny it, and that's it. Back away. Save what you've got. UMP gone. AWP. Fallen's got to be careful. They're pushing in through drop. They'll be at the window beside him before he's able to get back into the site safely. Good flick to get nothing. Misses that shot, however, onto Automatic, and that's going to cost him the AWP.
So Cloud9 there, like we said, a big round for them to pick up. It's going to ruin SK financially. And the full wall of smoke's going to be for Cloud9 there as well. That's the perfect strategy to chuck in there when you know the money's going to be low for the CTs. They can't really do anything about it. They can't drop incendiaries in front of you. Unlikely they have both AWPs up as well. You do that, Dan, you'll be segregating, trying to get the frags. And like we said, Phelps there with perfect opportunity with the CZ in the corner. Got gifted 2 opportunities with 2 CTs in front of him. Went for the spray. Normally CZ known to be very good at that sort of range. Can't actually find the damage required. And that gives Stroud the opportunity to get the 180, take the kill down. And here we are, 5-3, 3 in a row for Cloud9. It doesn't feel like it's rounds they really deserved or they really outplayed SK. It was just amazing clutches, right? Which in their own right are great. But at the same time, it wasn't like a big team effort to get them in this situation. But they'll take it all the same. 3 in a row, and now just to fully go up against SK. It's going to be CZs, PT50s, and a Deagle for Fur. Fallen and Taco. So both the AWPers will be taking absolutely nothing into round number 9.
Shot Shroud on Phelps. Nothing's going to just continue to watch below. Danger.
The objective of Cloud9 here, really, don't give a single frag away. You can see their money still not fully stabilized at this point. Just want to make sure they stay together. Refrag if required. Nothing. Oh, that was actually really nice timing. You can see his teammate just coming out long as he committed as well. So that was really nice. So not really much given away at all. So this is perfect. This is going to be fair now with the Deslegal. Might get 1 kill, but denied by Stewie. 4 rounds in a row for Cloud9. It was looking pretty bleak at 5-0, but a couple of big clutches. And managed to get them right back into it. But the double orb setup coming out for SK Gaming once again.
This will break them down, though, as well, if they don't win with it. And it's like you say, Cloud9 not giving up a single kill builds their money significantly.
Yeah, great teamwork there. Timing seemed a lot more on point. They're getting assertive, getting to the zone. We're starting to find some frags as well. And across the board, Stewie and Automatic. That's the tag team combo we need to come to life here. They're going to stand a chance against the likes of SK Gaming here. Little run boost. Shroud fancying it, but looks things wants to go for the quick pace at the start of the upper platform, but Fallen in towards danger this time. He'll be backed up by Fur, who's in towards the mid connector. Smokes once again. Looks like he'll be going towards connector. We'll run and throw that. Yeah, it does indeed.
I think it landed perfectly. Don't think it caught the top step. Yeah, it did.
Ooh,
this
run
is
Fallen.
Good, though. Fallen backing off. Stewie's all over him. And that's going to put him down, which allows Automatic now. Although not really directly allowing, but it causes Phelps to rotate off and get more confined to the B site. So it does contribute to the fact that he's able to get the kill. Automatic turning around. Nails Coldzera as well. And it's Stewie to get Fur.
Automatic is really starting to get into the zone now. He seems like he's playing deathmatch. Just running around that B side, dropping down, hitting heads all over the place, 180 headshots. And it looks like SK don't really have an answer for it right now. Automatic. What a great round that was from him as well. Fully Blind managed to recover. This was the kill that really kind of secured the round there as well. It's going to be 5 in a row for Cloud9. This won't be the force buy from SK. We call it a partial buy when you just invest around 2k. There are maximum loss bonus now, and that's going to be $3,400. So some body armor, some CZs, a scout for Fallen as well. With the shotgun, straight B commitment. I like this. Stick together, don't give anything away. Anyone goes down, you're there to refrag. That's not likely to be a problem right now. Stewie and Shroud find the first 2 kills.
Taco does well with the CZ75 from behind the statue, but Stewie gets on top of his position too soon for him to do anything further. Good shot, Skadoodle. Coldzera down for left in a 1 versus 3. Cloud9, they're going to win 6 in a row. 1 better than what SK achieved off the start of the game. And it means SK, financial troubles, are pulling from behind to try and keep themselves in contention. I suppose CT side, though, it is a T-sided map, so they're still doing all right, and we still have a game on our hands, don't get me wrong, but it is a huge turn.
The fact they're up 5-0, and then those clutches just open the door like this for Cloud9. They will be surviving a 3 players, but looks things fur with the max 7 in towards the upper area of drop down. Can hear some footsteps there, but doesn't want to pull the trigger. I think it's a guaranteed kill, just like that. Takes the Skadoodle. Big scout for taking it, denied the AWP, being taken into the next round. That'd be great. If he actually manages to survive with it, that'd be even better. Doesn't happen, nothing, and manages to take him down and finds his 14th kill after 11 rounds. It's not bad at all. Double AWP setup once again for SK. Seem to be forcing themselves on this as much as they possibly can. That's their go-to setup, it seems. A lot of teams do like to do that. I think it's got its vulnerabilities, especially when they know you're running it. You just go to a more deathmatch, looser style, or just throwing those wall of smokes towards B. That's what I'd be calling right now if I'm automatic. Stewie's got the Mac 10, suggests that's exactly what they will be doing. They're going to be doing a very quick round this time. Stewie looking to find unarmored heads. He's going to get them as well. Fallen, no armor. Taco, no head armor to speak of. So Stewie throws himself into the site, takes a lot of damage, Phelps takes him down, gets the double frag as well, but automatic. He's got some space to work with, but quickly shut down by Taco.
Yeah, good hold from Taco on the statue. So they try it. They throw the Hail Mary, but SK certainly ready for it. Saw the early smokes coming in and were set toward the B site. It does limit the availability quite quickly if they're on top of it. And this now means Cloud9 unfortunately will forfeit this round, but not getting a kill means they can build up the economy on the SK side. Lots of money. Okay, I say that.
Why is
Skadoodle, yeah, just gets 2 quick kills. They needed to keep everyone alive. They still have both ops up. And thankfully, only Skadoodle remains with 8 HP.
He knows he
could have
can't.
been far more efficient.
He knows he can't win the round, right? But he's just happy with that. I'll take 2 kills with me all day long. So that was quite a nice idea by Cloud9. They knew the money would be low. Like I said, unarmored heads available for him. Throws Stewie in through the smoke. He took a lot of damage there. It was actually good work from the CT defensive side to actually get the first 2 frags there. This Skadoodle, there's no reason for SK to try and force those frags. They seem like they're being a bit antsy now after losing, what was it, 6 in a row. So it's disappointing to see them giving away those sort of kills, considering that now the money's very weak. 1 round given away will be a harsh reset. They need to keep all 5 players alive. They still have the full buy, sure, but like I said, very fragile at this point. Fur, slightly aggressive towards Dong, not fully committing, looking for that first kill and falling back. Fallen from the top and middle as well, looking towards the connected door, seeing we can find the first kill. It's more of a default round from Cloud9. Skadoodle yet to really impress me with the AWP this game, but hasn't really had to so far. Did amazing work with Tech 9, so give them that.
That's true, yep. Fur's going to wait, very tight angle, but it's a hard place to escape from. Flash through, keeps most of his vision, enough to take down nothing, but Skadoodle's up close on the AWP. Smoked off. Imagine he'll just concede for a moment until that dissolves.
Because Fur was so vulnerable there. If you go 1 and done in that sort of position, it actually is the advantage towards the T's. The fact he can stay alive for his teammate to come through the smoke, buys him a bit more time, then he can fall back, wait for the pre-fire to come in from the orbiters waiting on the other side, and then actually get in a safe position. So now, a 5-4 in favor of SK. Taco that upper platform position once again, a little bit too easy, I have to say. Stewie goes down, drops an incendiary, and he'll be able to fall back towards the chicken coop once again.
Comfortably sit to watch drop. He's got to check long because they have gotten wide on him. He may just wait until they're closer on the site and goes for the inside peek instead. Finds automatic, waiting to get the bomb in position. Does burn alive immediately after. They know that's clear. So the smoke's still applicable for a bomb plant, but they're going to push through likely to try and find Shroud. As they spray in, Phelps has to be careful. Off on the other side of it, they will get to the statue at the very least for Shroud, but 2 players to take on 4 on a retake. Has to be this shot for Skedoodle to open it up, and they've lost the lane, which means Shroud goes down on the site. Ska's gone. Missing a shot. Makes it easy for Phelps.
Does indeed. Well, it was a nice try there by the T side after losing the first frag as well. Went back towards B. There was a 5-on-3 that committed to the side as well. Skedoodle, if he starts hitting a few shots there, they might have a chance. But it was quite intelligent play. You could see Cloud9 baiting at the bomb plant as well on the 4-on-2. They dropped that smoke and then actually went for the fake plant. So with 10 seconds remaining as CT, you're going to assume that's a full commitment, right? But then they wait for the full, like, 2 M4s fully spraying into that. They know they've got to reload at that point. Then go for the bomb plant and they can be safe. So at least they get a bomb plant out of it and they can actually buy into this round if you're not aware. Getting the bomb down on the T side and CSGO means you get an extra $800 per player. So it's always worth it to try and force that, even if you know you can't win the round, right? 7-6, SK Gaming after losing 6 in a row. Managed to convert 2 rounds there and actually avoid the full reset. A decent round, so they've got a nice full buy going forward. Same story for Cloud9. Not as strong as they'd like to see Skedoodle without the head armor. It's actually kind of a big deal against the CT M4s. He's also got no utility as well, and yet to really find any massively impactful opening kills at that orb.
Shroud still flirting with Skedoodle to take the long B position. Flirting together in tandem, not with each other, to clarify. They're not pulling a Henry J and Sadokist.
They're not doing that?
No, not quite. Not on our level, Hank.
I think anyone is, but
Good
Skedoodle.
peek.
That's what we wanted to see from him. Those opening picks, and now they don't need to overthink the situation. Just, oh, okay, Fallen. Straight away, he finds nothing. But maybe they need to commit at this point.
Oh, Phelps. He missed the pistol shots there earlier. He's looking a bit shaky. Had to go back towards Stewie. When he looked back, Shroud was able to take him down. He needs to be swift and quick. They're overlooking that position quite frequently as well, so patient. It'll pay off. The trade was beneficial. However, Fur inside of the site getting automatic down now gives SK the advantage on the B site with 30 seconds remaining. Bomb is committed at this point. And it's Skedoodle that has it, so the op can't hold position. They're going to boost up Shroud, though, which could be decent as they try and get up over top. And this is, oh, good find from Cole. I was going to say enough that could swing the round if he finds a pick, but can't do it.
Quite a comfortable round there from SK. Lost a couple of kills, but it was the 4-on-4 to kick things off. Fallen straight away there. That's what's so strong about this setup, right? The fact you can have an orb on either side of the map, which famously is actually quite a strong setup, but it's quite easy to shut down at the same time. But if you're finding aggressive frags like Fallen is, he's actively hunting and actually doing a very good job on the A side of the map, it's absolutely fine. As soon as nothing, also take Skedoodle find that first kill, Fallen gets one 5 seconds later as well and funnels him back towards the B side. It's going to be round number 15 here, of course, the final round of the first half. 4 AKs and a Tech 9 for Skedoodle, no orb this time. Fallen and towards long A. He spotted him through the incandescence of the flames there, but doesn't manage to land the first shot. So get some information. There's going to be a play on that side of the map, but it looks like a B commitment once again. Stewie's going to have to run through, hope for the best.
Oh, Phelps anticipates Stewie's arrival, but does nothing of it. Stewie's able to put him down instead. Good shot from Taco. Unfortunately, though, Shroud equal to it. Or at the very least. Automatic arrives as Cold's trying to peek back out toward long, though it's good timing. Fur has to be careful of the fact there is a player behind him at drop. Missing a shot toward long. It's going to leave him vulnerable, and there it is. Automatic's able to walk out, take him down. Fallen, good first find, but can't land the second one fast enough. 8-7 half, we split it down the middle. Considering a 5-0 start and then a 6-round string, back and forth at the end.
Yeah, quite an exciting half, I have to say. Not the best CS played from either side, but 5-0 for SK Gaming, and Cloud9 managed to make it a convincing.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Lenovo Legion, Xfinity, ESCA, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, Logitech G, and Zowie.
So 8-7 is where we start things off. SK looked the class of the game to start, but
yeah,
2 clutches and then a very efficient round against the anti-eco was all Cloud9 needed.
Yeah, the door swung right open at that point, didn't it? It was 2 big clutches there, especially for Cbble as well. A 3-on-1 with the Tech9. Manages to get him into the door. And we'll see what happens here going forward into the second half. 2 smokes, 3 sets of armor. And also a very fast round coming from SK here, actually heading towards long A.
Fur is able to walk all the way out toward long corner. Fur able to go all the way in toward the site with the Glock before getting found. Doesn't even get found. He takes down Shroud instead. There was no one to cover off the long corner inside of A. They're going to go for a flank. Nothing gets one. He started off last pistol with 2. They were early. They were waiting for Stewie to get in position sooner, and he's already been spotted by Taco. So flank, not really going to happen. SK collecting the second pistol just as they did the first.
That's how you do one of those fast A pushes. There you go. At the very start of the round, no slowing down. He's getting up there and surprising the CTs, who generally like to stack towards B on the CT pistol there. Quite easy for SK. Smokes down, 2 of those as well. And not really much Cloud9 can do about that. Only finding 1 frag in total, so it's going to be the force spy from them the second round. It's going to do obviously the AWP. He'll just be on the CZ, no armor. That's the storyline for most of the CT players, though. CZ, 4 of those. Nothing with the Deagle head armor, though. And we'll see whether he can cause any damage here. SK with 1 rifle. That's Taco's AK-47. UMPs and Fur with the MAC-10. Some long A control here. Difficult weapon selection, considering they've got the force by the CTs up against them.
Fur's going to creep his way in toward the site. Success, gets to the corner. They don't realize he's there yet. One kill,
bullet.
and yeah.
There it is.
I like it. 1 bullet was all he needed. Gets taken down by Shroud eventually. Who does better than that? Fallen's dropped the bomb, and he's picked up a UMP, which we know is more than significant. Keep an eye on that. Remember, we talked about that yesterday to see if there is any benefit to the nerf. If it changes the results of those rounds, it's worth something of note. As Stewie starts to walk back in from mid, he'll pick up the UMP on the way by. 1 versus 2, though, and bomb. Should be going down now. Yep, we can see Cold planting it.
He's got the head armor, though, and the UMP. Definitely has a shout of winning this one.
No kit is his only downfall. More smoke, for that matter. But spotting Taco. Taco spotting him in turn with an AK. He wins the duel from far.
So Shroud, Matthew, 7-15. Player with a lot of kind of speculation around him right now.
Did you address that to me because I'm Canadian as well?
No, that actually is to my mind. I just wanted to have a little discussion what you think the future holds for him. He's been making a lot of comments recently. Do you think he'll be sticking around and letting the pro scene?
I'm not sure. To be fair, I haven't seen some of the comments. I've been distancing for a week to try and reset. Yeah, he definitely is a player that never really bloomed into his potential. There was a brief moment, sort of end of 2015, mid-2015 when they were doing well.
Mid-2015.
Yeah, they were doing
the run of finals, right?
Exactly, and he carried that over even when they started to slip off, but then he too fell off, and he has never come back under the star power that the lineup now has. I'm not sure what to expect with him, to be fair. And, you know, maybe streaming offers more to him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, like either way, he'll be fine. Like he'll always have a place in CS:GO, right? Whether it is streaming on the pro level, like it's a shame to see someone we know who's so talented, like you said, not really flourished into the player we know he can be. It's difficult to even say what the problem is. Really, he just doesn't seem to have that kind of like flair he used to. He used to look so confident when he's playing the game, and I haven't been impressed by him in quite a while. I have to say, it's quite rare to see him have one of those really stellar performances.
Well, for looking good to build up money on the MAC-10.
Yeah, that's
the Mac Daddy 10.
Yeah, you can see how these force buys limit the CT sides. It could be nothing down to the Famous and Shroud on a UMP. Not necessarily the worst thing in the world on a map like Cobblestone. Lots of close range encounters available to the CTs, like drop down, long A, danger, for example. And we'll see whether they can get rolling here. Only 1 kit. Skadoodle, not glass cannon, but there's no head armor. Not a huge deal considering he's up against the AKs here. And what can I see so far? This could be the A split. Getting some drop down control, decent flashbangs there. Shroud, the only player in drop down. He's only got that aforementioned SMG as well. So can he really do much about this? More than 1 kill, I'm not so sure. I think he had to fall back at this point. Nice shot there from Phelps. Actually for the gap. Whether that was intentional or not, I'm not sure. I didn't see it from his POV, but he manages to get the first kill. Shroud now making footsteps towards connector. That's going to give... Maybe he's trying to bait the terrorist out. That little footstep, that could be quite intelligent.
for good angle. The hold is nothing. Gets close to Molotov, and now he tries to strike back. But the Empire's had enough of that. Nothing puts down for it's a good nade from Nothing as well out toward long. Significant damage, I believe, onto Taco. Was it? I was Fallen, excuse me. So it actually bypassed him. Did more to Taco when it bounced back inward. They're still down a man, and now they're down 2 because Fallen finding Shroud, even though the HP is low, is going to be
Oh, okay.
Quite significant. Cold getting Skadoodle. If they'd stayed one more in, Crossfire set with the low HP.
I liked the Crossfire, the low HP. I thought Nothing would find those 2 frags and have a real chance. They've fallen. This completely wrecks him there with the AK-47. Very good play by him. Only on 13 kills. Actually, Fur at the top there with 22. This has to be another eco. This might be a tactical pause. I think in the best of 1, I would certainly take 1 maybe in the next round. Be a partial buy of the CTs. This game is starting to slip away now. It's going to be 13-7 presumably after this one. Sure, you can cause some damage with these pistols, but this sort of buy, I don't have much faith in. We'll see what happens here. Round number 20 is the frag charts for you. Shroud, 8 for 17, automatic. Stewie and Skadoodle all on the same. And Nothing leading the frag charts. I've had a great start. Even though they're 5-0 down, he had like 6 or 7 kills.
This is pretty much all SK so far this half. This round will be no different. Obviously, against the Pistols, it's just automatic versus 5. And no kills. Came close. No kills.
Well, getting close to the last chance saloon now. 13-7, 2 away from a match point. It is best of 1 in these group stages. We're in Group A right now. I would say the group of death. Compared to 2, we've got all the Pro League champions in this group, which is kind of nuts. Obviously, Fnatic, SK, and Cloud9, surprisingly. Probably their biggest accomplishment, I'd say, with the Cloud9 project in CSGO. That was kind of insane they won that tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in SK's backyard as well.
Yep. Yep. Opportunity missed to play in front of those those fans.
The celebration, amount of the pie they would have had in Sao Paulo that night.
Yeah, would have been better than the one Jason had during the Movember ceremony. But yeah, that was a lifetime opportunity to play in front of that crowd, and they finished second, which is commendable. But a win was what they were looking for.
Especially against an American team as well, just to prove like they're kind of yes, we've done it. We are the world's best now. We're going to do it in front of you, make everyone proud. Like sure, like no one's gonna be disappointed, but it's rare to see a tournament of that scale in Brazil.
Yeah,
as much as a Counter-Strike nation as it is. Phelps though finds the first kill on automatic, who was great in the first half, and Cloud9 a little bit of a fumble here, swapping the AWP over to Phelps, and Stewie doing a good job there to find Taco on the other side of the map.
Yeah, Phelps trying to jump around the corner, and Fallen's like, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
I don't care if you go down. I thought he
I thought that was happening.
Exiting B, definitely looked like that could have happened. Yeah. Nothing's going to get back down toward the bottom of middle. That's an old school reference.
That is. That's one of the original CSGO memes.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing flashing backwards, but gets caught off as he peeks out to throw his. Means Fallen's able to capture and take down him inside of the corner. Skadoodle inside of his own corner, though, will take back Fallen before jumping up on top of the site. He's actually stayed down behind the hut. They'll set crossfires. That smoke's going to give away exactly where Shroud is, and Skadoodle, he suffers for the same fate. He could have easily stayed quiet in that position and come out better off as Stewie takes down Phelps. Yep, bomb is down, but Cold's behind him.
Yep, that's unfortunate. There was a chance ever Stewie gets that kill. Maybe just denies the plan. There was 5 seconds remaining, but Cold's there. With the flank from Connector, manages to shut it down as well. Another crossfire, looking promising. This is the moment. If he goes to the other player on the right first, right, he actually doesn't get both kills. But the fact he chose Shroud first means that the AWP can't swing around in time, has no idea.
And while that smoke's thrown, you'd almost expect Skadoodle to watch that exact alley to make sure, okay, smoke's deployed, now they're not going to push through. And
that's the thing as well. If he doesn't throw that smoke, you could see Fur was actually going to check the right-hand side first, and as soon as he drops the smoke, he actually gives his position away, and actually almost gives away the fact that the M4's there, and that's actually there, ends up being their demise. So it has to be a force buy here from Cloud9 Matt. Surprisingly, no tactical pauses, which is kind of strange, I think. Especially at this sort of round, like you're one away from match point, you're going to be force buying into it, to at least have some sort of idea. Let's just kind of work out what they're doing, maybe we can shut down their default, an aggressive push somewhere. Got 5 UMPs this round, certainly limited. Double AWPs on the T side, that's unconventional to say the least, but we'll see what they can do with it. This is what we wanted to see though. A bit of aggression from the CTs here. Can't find that frag, just about gets out. That's nothing. Will it be refragged? Surely it will. They know exactly where he is. He's got an incendiary. That will give away his position even more. Flashbang to come in as well. It's decent. Might actually fall back here.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, unfortunately. Good attempt.
All he could do, considering how many men were on top of him and he was overwhelmed. Get your mind out of the gutter. For once, I didn't mean it like that.
As soon as you started that sentence there, I knew where he was going with this.
Dear Lord. the one time I'm trying to be appropriate.
Yeah, we've been pretty tame recently, I think. We always behave ourselves at the big events.
On camera.
Yeah.
When the mics are hot.
Well, 30 seconds remaining. SK Gaming do head towards B. It's Shroud. Like you said, underwhelming so far. And you've got the UMP and the smoke to work with. Fully blind. You can't do much about this. Your team of Scudoodle chimes in, but that should be the round over. It's automatic with no kit. A UMP and pretty far removed from the situation. This will be round number 15 obtained by SK. I think Cloud9 have picked up a single round here in the second half. And that's the thing. That's why it was great the clutches they got and everything. I don't think they deserved the amount of rounds they got there. They were relying on 3 versus 1s with Tech9, for example, and then another huge clutch as well from Automatic, where he actually went down and they won it because Fallen didn't have a kit. It felt like they got a string of rounds because they broke the economy from those 2 clutches, right? And they got themselves into the game like that. Don't take anything away from that. It was still very skilled and very good, but it seems like SK have been a much better team across the board. Obviously, it goes out saying in the second half as well. Has to be the force by Evan Cloud9. 1 M4, a Famis, 3 UMPs, no kits, no AWP to work with. Back to the single AWP setup for SK as well. And it's sticking there. It's grouping up now. Refrags not even required. Fur blows off the head of Automatic. Up to Scudoodle, not known to be a rifler, but does take down Phelps, things off for the CT side.
Scudoodle does indeed, so that helps. Gets them back to a 4 versus 4. They've lost map control, though, and stables especially. And it's Shroud to try and hold that position off for the UMP that has been nerfed at range. Let's see if that's
I haven't really noticed that.
Yeah. It's gonna take time. The only way we could see if it's worked or not is looking at the statistics of rounds 1 that typically were when UMPs are bought. So the force block.
Yeah, but the one I wanted to see was how is it going to change the amount of purchases? We saw more Famises. We are seeing slightly more Famises.
It's gonna take time though, I think.
But yeah, still to adjust for the.
Yeah, until people realize that they aren't winning those rounds, or they have a situation where, oh wait, the gun's terrible now at this range, and then they'll start swapping. But again, it's not gonna be overnight. This round, however, has gotten slightly interesting, but not quite enough, as nothing wraps back around the APC. SK is able to close it out. They go 16-7, not a single CT-sided round for Cloud9.
Yeah, I would say overall that was a very disappointing game for Cloud9. Like we said, 5-0 down. They did very well to find those 2 big clutches to get them into it. That was quite pretty, but overall, that's not going to be enough to win you a match against a team like SK Gaming. They looked dominant throughout. Fallen didn't even need the AWP in the second half. He was blowing people's heads off with the AK left, right, and center. Fur with 25 kills in total. Yeah. Very dominant performance, completely controlled the economy there in the second half, and 16-7. That's a pretty one-sided affair. Jason, what did you have to say about that one?
That was good stuff. I quite liked that. Yeah, all the rounds in the second half going to SK. Pretty brutal.
Yeah, no, it's pretty brutal shoving overall. I think even though Cloud9 ended up with 7 rounds, which again, not a whole lot to talk about, but even those rounds they were kind of lucky to come by. Saw the great start from SK, winning pistol obviously, and getting off to a good start, but. When Cloud9 actually won rounds, managed to break the economy of SK, it was off at the back of clutch rounds. Like, not necessarily rounds that were well thought out, well structured, and well executed from Cloud9. It was more like they have
some individual effort.
Exactly, they have to luck into it more than anything else, and that's obviously not a sustainable way to go about it when you're going up against the better teams in the world. Right. And I think kind of what we saw, that's somewhat what I expected as well coming into this with the map pick that they ended up with. This is why I don't like Cloud9 leaving Cobble open. This is why I much rather would have seen them play Inferno, because SK is much stronger on Cobble than what they are in Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, are you kind of echoing that same kind of thought process here?
Cobble is a map where, I definitely would have favored SK over Cloud9, even though Cloud9 can be a counter. It's just a map where I don't think they can get a lot out of their players like Stewie and Automatic in terms of CT aggression. We still harp on about this. What can you do on the CT side aggressively? Not a lot. And if you can make those frags and find those moves, fantastic. If you can't, you get shut out. You keep getting reset. You have a really tough time with the economy. I question the fact that they bought up early on that T side, but it managed to work out for them eventually where they put on a decent string of rounds. They were able to break down that economy and get a lot done with that, but the CT side was just uninspired, I thought. Yeah, and it was a name out of Cloud9 that had a great game was Nothing. It was his name. We don't say that frequently. I mean, what is that an indication of something going wrong? Is that just an off game, or is that kind of like just some kind of idea of how you want to play is off? I actually think this was not necessarily everybody else failing to get frags, so there was just leftovers for Nothing or anything, because we actually saw many rounds where Nothing would actually open up the bomb stage for Cloud9 on the T side. So I think this was more of just Nothing having a good game, but the rest of them just falling completely silent and not really showing up when they had an opportunity. Because it's true what you said. Normally, Cloud9's firepower comes from Automatic and it comes from Stewie, and the 3 others are more of X factors that just need to contribute in a decent manner for Cloud9 to be successful. And if you can have Nothing go off, then obviously that should be a great indicator that Cloud9 has a great chance of actually getting a lot of rounds. But
it's one of those times where they just got outmatched and outskilled pretty much on every facet.
Yeah, I know we've had this conversation before, Jason, where we talk about Fur, Phelps, and like Cold Zero as like
a trio, yeah.
right? And Fur and Phelps had a really good game. Cold Zero not so much, but you obviously when you're winning games like this, you're not expecting everybody to put up like a carry performance, right? People are just going to find the frags that come to them. Fur and Phelps with their aggression, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. You can see when they get drop room how much control Fur was able to take of the map and how many frags they get. He had a 120 ADR. You know, he was just all over them on the eco rounds, just farming up with that Mac 10. Like, it just goes after the frags.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the trios that we talk about, probably one of the best 3-player combinations you can have in the game at this moment. So, I mean, that's just kind of a luxury they have. Cold has a quiet game, not even a bad game, and they're still dominating victory.
And I think that's the coolest thing, like, ever since Phelps came into that SK lineup, and that's the coolest thing about what kind of evolution we've seen with the SK lineup is the fact that Fur's gotten back to his old self. And yeah, like, statistically, Cold Zero is still going to be the best player on that side, but I'd say, like, for the last 3 months, Fur has probably been their best player in terms of where they were, you know, a couple of months back, and you know, how he's elevated his play from where he was. He's by far the most improved player on that side, and I think that's incredibly cool to see because we talked about him, you know, when he came into the first couple of lineups with Fallen, you know, when we saw Kaboom, and those iterations of the squad that
really
he was
like, this one.
Yeah, but like you could tell very early on that he was a special kind of player, and he was supposed to be the new shining light from Brazil, supposed to be the new, you know, poster boy really for Brazilian CS, and then obviously Cold Zero comes out of nowhere in 2015 and just dominates everything, but. You know, Fur's still not giving up on that dream of being #1.
Yeah, well, I mean, either way, they're sitting very nicely. Good start to the tournament. SK dominates Cloud9 in the first map. When we return from the break, we're going to see G2 taking on Cloud9. They get no breaks. Another skilled lineup for the American team. Stay tuned.